Welcome guys, welcome to this semi-roleplay session of Red Dead Redemption 1. So, we start out in the American border town of Armadillo, and we have one important task for us. But before going there, we take a look at this prostitute. Okay, so her name is apparently Virginia, and a few years ago, Virginia helped her younger sister, Olivia, escape from this goddamn saloon and its life of prostitution. Now, however, she doesn't really know where Olivia is. Apparently, the last she heard is that Olivia had run away to some Catholic nunnery somewhere deep in the bowels of the Mexican countryside. And Virginia has no idea what Olivia is doing down south of the border in Mexico. So she has asked us to go and check up on her sister and bring word. Is her sister fine? Is she healthy? Okay. And of course, our official task is to take another message across the border, but we don't really know what it is. Okay, so now we are going to the oil company. Yes, the oil company of Armadillo, which basically wants us to take a message that they cannot really transmit by telegram to the Mexican countryside. They want us to visit the Mexican town south of the border and speak in person with the governor of that province. Why? Because it is 1910. Mexico is now in the throes of revolution. And the American Oil Company is really afraid that will their oil deposits in Mexico, will their mining interests, will their financial interests be expropriated by the new governments that are now claiming to be suzerain over Mexico. Porfirio Diaz's hold over Mexico is now extremely tenacious. So this oil industrialist or tycoon, whatever, he wants us to take this message across. He wants us to ask if basically his behind is on fire in Mexico or not. Is he going to be losing that sweet black gold cash or not?
Yeah.
So we are now going towards the oil field to take his letter so that we can transmit his messages to Mexico. And these things can't really be done via telegram. Why? Because this is a highly personal message. We are going as an envoy of American big business. We cannot risk doing these things on telegram.
Look out, mister.
So we are now near, you can see the oil fields over there in the distance. We are nearing our destination. Okay, so this is quite a quaint place. As you can see, there are workers everywhere, and the oil machinery here is digging up. This is a very frontier-esque place. There is no real houses, no wood. There's just these big oil machineries and basic tents for the workers. It's called plain view. So maybe I'll just sit by this fire. Maybe I'll have a little taste of the soup here. Ah, it's not really that tasty, but it's okay. Okay, so I'm contemplating if I should take a small nap before moving on to Mexico, but no, it is dangerous to go to Mexico at night. It's better if I cross the border as soon as I can. So let me speak to the owner, to the tycoon now. Yeah, he's standing there. Okay, so this is him.
Forgive me, sir.
Wait, no, this is not him. This is a worker. Oh, sorry, that is him. So, yes, do tell me, sir, what message do you want to transmit? Okay, so he has given me the letter, and now I can go down south of the border to take his message across. Oh, wow, you look like some kind of hotshot manager. You'll do big in the oil business, boy. Maybe 20 years from now, you will be sitting in some posh New York office, signing papers instead of doing this work. I wonder how the view is from up there. So I'm just moving up there for some time just to check out the view, and then we can continue on our mission. Okay, so this is quite an amazing view. You can see that is a Mexican town over there. Anyway, let's continue on our mission. Let's not get backtracked. So, the letter needs to be given to this place in Mexico called Escalera. Okay, so now I'm going to be traveling to Escalera. I hope I've got the guns. Mexico is filled with bandits and revolutionaries posing as bandits. I don't really want to risk getting robbed down south of the border. So let's go. It's a long journey ahead. And you know that guy, the business tycoon, he told me something about the intrigues happening in Europe. I mean, he's a cultured man. He's not an uncouth frontiersman or cowboy like me. He's a man of great culture, and he reads the newspapers coming out of Europe. It says that there's a crisis in Europe in the Balkans. Apparently, the Austro-Hungarian Empire has annexed Bosnia-Herzegovina, and that has really tipped off the Russians. They are really unhappy about it because apparently Austria-Hungary had promised the Russians control over Serbia and other parts of the Balkans. Anyway, this is the border crossing. There's a warning. Mexico is not safe. It's filled with revolutionaries and bandits, and the central government of Porfirio Diaz is losing its control. So American travelers are warned. But of course, I am a rough, tough frontiersman, so I can do it. Okay, here we are. No longer in the United States, we are now officially in Mexico. So anyway, as I was saying, the Bosnian crisis is really big in in Europe. And as always, the Kaiser is making a lot of loud noises. He's claiming, as always, that they are the Huns and Germany shall win. I mean, as far as I can see it, I believe that, yeah, Germany will surely win. They have the strongest land army in the world. They have the kind of machinery that we can't even dream of. It's true that we had something like 2 million men at the end of the Civil War, but that is history. And I'm pretty sure that America will support Germany in this war because there's so many Germans in high positions. I mean, even the governor of Armadillo, the state of New Austin, he himself is a sort of German. So, yes, if you ask me, now of course, I am a pretty uncouth frontiersman. What am I to know about the educated circles of Europe? But if you ask me, then Germany will win this war and they will probably dismantle the Russian Empire and they will probably occupy London and Paris within a week. And after that, we shall see a new technological flowering in Europe and the world, really. Because everything, even the pistol I'm using is German, it's all German machinery. My God, Mexico is quite different, man. It's all white desert. It's so hot over here. And unlike in America, I don't really see any people I know here. I mean, there's no greeting. Wait, what's happening? Oh my god. Oh my god. What
Soy inocente. No hice nada. No.
what is this? Hey, don't kill that man. No. What is oh my god. Oh my god. This is not the land of the free like the United States, man. These people, the rurales of Porfirio Diaz, have now turned to barbarism. They're just killing these criminals. There is no rule of law anymore in Mexico. What is happening? I mean, of course, I can profit from their stupidity, but I guess that's how life is down south of the border. The rule of law down south comes from the barrel of the gun. It's not freedom like we have in the States. So now these rurales are presumably riding to Escalera. After a long journey, we have finally arrived in the Mexican town of Escalera, and yes. Whoa, it's a big town. It's actually bigger than Armadillo. Of course, it has to be big. The governor lives here, but still. Okay. So before I fulfill my mission, I'll just take a look at the shops, maybe have something to eat. There's the butcher. Please give me a small cut of whatever meat you have. Okay, thank you.
Vengan, come look.
Ha! The soldiers are doing the work of shopkeepers here. What a strange thing.
¿Cómo está usted? ¡Qué cosa más horrible!
I wonder where's the local saloon? Hey, what's he doing over there? What is this place? Ah, finally some cool, man. Away from the hot desert. These stones really have a cooling effect on the surroundings. Let me just take a look at these shops. I've been into civilization after so long. The journey was quite long and arduous.
Some drink la del
Howdy,
esta
mister.
noche voy a
Thank you.
comer panochita dulce. Nos vemos otro día. See you soon.
Okay, so it's nearing sunset now.
¿Cómo te va?
Let me take a look at the general store.
Buenas.
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo se siente? Los rebeldes de Reyes desaparecen en escalera.
Sorry, señor, me no speak español. Pero yo hablo un solo poquito español.
Buenas, señor. ¿Cómo se siente?
¿Cómo está usted?
Well, the view from this shop is pretty good though, isn't it? Anyway, I'd better hurry to the governor's mansion and deliver the message. I wonder where my horse is. It has wandered off. But of course, it won't leave my side for too long. It should be here somewhere. As you can see, the governor's mansion is heavily guarded. This entire province is extremely volatile and filled with revolutionaries. An attack can come at any moment.
Ándeles lindas y patrióticas.
Dale, que ustedes son putas que lo saben. Oh, gringo! Ride with us!
I'm not going to ride with you, you fool. I don't wish to come with these people. These are despicable people, and I've delivered my message. That is enough for me. I'm leaving their side now. Oh, wait, I forgot. There was another work to do before I leave the governor's mansion. Oh, the mansion gates are locked. That is a shame. Okay, so these are the prisons where they keep all the revolutionaries. What a sad, sad place, man, and what a sad fate of all those poor people who must be imprisoned here. Really breaks my heart to see it all. Anyway, I think I'll visit church before I continue on my journey. Ah, finally some peace and quiet in the shadow of faith and God. As you can see, the churches in Mexico are all Catholic. They're not Spartan like we have in the USA. They are quite decorative, and although they still have that frontier characteristic, they harken back to the old days when the Spanish Empire ruled over these oceans. What a romantic little church this is. They even have a piano there. I think Mass is not today, but whenever it is, it would be so beautiful here. Spain was so powerful at that time, unlike today when the pathetic monarchy of Spain is so weak. In fact, in neighboring Portugal, I recently heard that there was a revolution. Portugal is now a republic. The monarchy has been removed. Yeah, so the Portuguese monarchy is removed, and in the meantime, I had a little rest and now I'm back. So now I will leave for the final part of my mission, and that is to seek out Olivia in her remote nunnery in the Mexican desert so that her sister Virginia can finally get some word about her. How poor these people are. Sometimes I feel like the revolutionaries have a point, that these people are being oppressed. My God, these people have nothing really. How wealthy the American farmers are with all our manifest destiny ideologies. Anyway, there's my horse, and so now let's take a look at the map. So the nunnery was somewhere around here. No, wait, oh, it was somewhere around here actually. Yeah, it's called Las Hermanas. So most of the people in this town, they advised me to stay the night in Escalera and go to the nunnery in the morning. It is dangerous to be out there in the open frontier of Mexico in this perilous time of revolution and banditry. But I've got no time for that. I have my pistol and I will deal with trouble if it arrives. So let's go. And secretly, I hope that nothing happens to me. Because behind all of these talk of tough and rough frontiersman lies a heart of humanity. I'm as afraid of the bandits and the murderers as everyone else. But to be honest, since I came here, I have only seen one mass execution. There's been nothing else. So maybe it's not as unsafe as they claim. In other news, I recently heard that the Qing Empire, the Qing dynasty of China, has apparently lost its power. They are no longer the suzerains of China. This is not a confirmed news, of course. This is what some mad intellectual guy was saying back in Armadillo. But maybe it's true. He said that the Chinese are on their way to establishing a republic. And while it is not universally accepted that the Qing dynasty has fallen, half of China is now on the side of those other people. I don't really know who they are or what they are, but that's what I heard from him. And of course, their neighbors in Japan are very happy about this new development because then they can extend their own power. Honestly, 5 years ago, who would have thought that the Japanese would defeat the Russians? But here they are. And I envision that in the future, these people would be really dangerous to the American civilization, to British civilization, to German civilization. And when the Kaiser wins his eventual victory in the inevitable war that's soon on the horizon, he shall have to deal with the Japanese for sure. How he deals with them is up to him. My God, how beautiful the Milky Way looks from here. I heard that some people are apparently flying now. It's the truth that humans can now fly like birds. Someone has built something called an aeroplane. And in Germany, some scientists are designing these theories that basically say that it is not God who has created a heaven and hell and earth, but some kind of particles, some kind of rays. I don't really know what any of it means, to be honest. Wait, what is that? That is intriguing. Let me go and check. What is that thing up there? Oh my God. This is the ruin of something. Mexico is so amazing. You see these ruins everywhere you go. Because this country is built on the ruins of a civilization. Imagine how it would have been some 300 years ago, in the 16th or 17th century, standing here as the first conquistadore, looking out at the fallen civilizations of old the Nahuatl peoples, and there was nothing here, no cars, no other white people, no telegraph lines, no trains, nothing, not even roads. Just you and the open frontier and the flag of Spain, and you shouting Arriba España at the top of your lungs to make sure that the deafening silence of this hostile foreign countryside is drowned out. We don't live in such romantic times anymore, do we? We live in a very practical time period. It's hard to imagine that the Spanish Empire once ruled this entire land. Where are all the bandidos, man? I haven't seen a single one until now. It's all been so quiet and tranquil in Mexico. Oh my God, this is dangerous. Oh God, that's a whole pack of them. Time to run. Shit. Wait. Oh my God. You whore! You thought you could deceive me and live with it?
You can have the money, senor. Please don't kill me.
Tell me where Olivia is, or else. Ah, after this horrible, horrible act of tragedy. I no longer feel like saying anything. And here I thought that Mexico was safe. Instead, there's blood on my hands now. I don't really know why I had to shoot first, but she deceived me. She was in with those bandidos. I hope that I will find some solace in God and faith once I reach his nunnery. So this is it, Las Hermanas, the secluded nunnery deep in the Mexican countryside. I wonder where the front gate is. I'm really hungry. I wish I haven't eaten something ever since that soup which we had at the oil refinery. Okay, so I can hitch my horse over here. For some history, this nunnery was built back in the Spanish Empire. It was built in 1701 and it was designed to bring civilization to the natives around here. Sometime in the 1750s, the natives attacked and ransacked it, but the King of Spain built it again in the 1760s as a nunnery. So it used to be a Spanish mission, now it's a nunnery. And of course, the Mexican government expropriated all the lands that this nunnery controlled, including the site where the town of Escalera and Chuparosa are built on. So you can imagine that some 100 or 150 years before, this nunnery was not just a place in the secluded countryside, it was the capital of this entire desolate province. There was no civilization other than the nunnery in this entire place back in the old days. Now the roles are reversed. The nunnery is the secluded one, and the towns have sprung up in its place. Okay, there is no one here. The station master must have dozed off. I hear a train coming. See, civilization has arrived in Mexico too, just like in America. Well, hello there, sir. You can see that most of these people are actually Americans traveling down south for business. Let me just get on the train and take a look at it. Aha, so this is the train. Okay. Well, wait, no, 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 no. I don't want to come.
¡Súbete, compadre!
Anyway, let me complete the mission by going to Las Hermanas. Aha, I can feel all the history coursing through my veins when I enter this place. What a pretty little place this is, like a paradise in the hot desert. And it even has security guards to protect it. Men who shall defend the nuns. Men who shall ensure that the outside forces do not harm the delicate, tranquil peace and faith that exists inside the four walls of this nunnery. As a man, I'm not really allowed inside many of the interior rooms, but I'll still explore a bit before looking for Olivia. Ah, it feels so cozy in here. Although my stomach is growling, I need to have some dinner.
¿Cómo estás?
Hello, do you know where Olivia is? Uh-huh. So she's inside. Okay, thank you. And have a great day, ma'am. I can't really speak Spanish. Ah, you see, imagine back in the old days before this was a nunnery, before the natives ransacked the Spanish mission. The padre would sit here, he would read his books, all imported from Europe, from Spain. And at that time, The Spanish realms controlled the towns of Armadillo. All the neighboring United States were part of the Spanish crown. Everything from Oregon to Panama, part of Spain. How pretty this entire place is. I'm just taken over by the beauty of the place. And also, I feel so safe here, sheltered from all the evils that exist outside. Ah, I hear some American voices. So apparently, Olivia must not be the only one who lives in here. There might be more American women. Oh, so this is where the nuns have dinner. Hello, ma'am. Where can I find Olivia? Sorry for disturbing you so late at night. Uh-huh. Okay. Have a great day. So they have a big mirror over here. They're nuns. But every woman does want to be pretty, doesn't she? And this is the office of the main nun, and she has a telephone, which just goes on to show that just being faithful doesn't mean that you are always reactionary. Even the faithful can embrace technology, because even a nun has to deal with the Mexican government, has to deal with all the bandits, the revolutionaries. So, of course, they will have these telephones. And this is the security guard. We better not disturb him. We don't want him to get angry on us. Hmm. Ah. So these are the huge bells, aren't they? And I like all the Adobe paint here. Reminds me of the 19th century so much. Although we are now in a new age of progress where men can fly, where men can shoot bullets at a rate of 200 per minute, Dr. Richard J. Gatling really revolutionized warfare some 30 or 40 years ago. And I heard that in Germany they got machine guns now which are 3 times faster than the ones that Dr. Gatling invented. So imagine the sheer firepower. Sometimes I feel like I'm drawn to light like a moth. And this is, of course, the main church. And that is Olivia. She is busy in prayer. Olivia, I bring you a message from your sister Virginia back in America. Olivia, 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 are you listening to me? She's so drowned out by the faith. She doesn't have time for me. I will just leave her letter on this table here.
Give them, Lord, they may not of your greatness and superness. How are you?
I'm great, Olivia. Your sister Virginia has a message for you. I've left the letter on the table. I'll just have a little prayer at this church before going back on my way to Armadillo.
Señor, dame la fuerza y la sabiduría para aprender a reconocer mis errores. dame la fuerza para ayudar al pueblo. Señor, dame la fuerza para ser cada día alguien que sabe crecer.
Imagine if instead of a frontiersman, I was a priest, a
Señor,
father presiding over the
muéstrame la
church.
sabiduría para aprender a reconocer mis errores.
That would have been funny, isn't it? Ah, so even nuns find themselves to be lazy sometimes. Of course, they're human after all. That is what makes them so faithful. Only a human can have faith for the Supreme One. I guess this nun is more senior than Olivia.
Hola.
She's so lost in her faith. But my time in this sanctuary of peace and quiet is now over. It's time to go back into the cruel world once again and face the realities of life. Because these nuns might be sheltered from the evils of the world beyond, but I am not. And that is why I must continue on. And that is where I bid my farewell to you, friends. Now I will go back to America. The message from the Mexican government is clear that the American investments are safe, and so is Olivia. So, although my mission had quite a lot of pitfalls, it was ultimately successful. The investments and the sister are both safe. Have a great day.